Oh, there's no hand raising option that seems to be appearing.
There is now, Vanessa. He just had us as co-host, so
Oh,
he's
got it.
removed us
Okay.
as co-host.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Marianne. I love seeing your face too. Or not anymore.
All right. It's recording and we're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to mute everybody here. We're going to use the hand raising option, please, for those of us that are on here. And I'm going to read a little bit of something because obviously this is our first time doing this. Thank you very much for joining us today. We now have a new way to do business. It'll be recorded and be available on our website. This is not a workshop or a meeting. We're kind of being thrown into the advancing our technology pillar. We figured we'd go ahead and try not to jump in head first, but to actually take an easy glide into the shallow end. So let's hope this works the way we need it to be. I have no idea what to expect for resident participation on the web or on the phone. So please remember that this is new to all of us. To ensure that everyone can actually hear what we're saying, I have everybody muted on the call. So please be patient as we continue on here. Some people have called in, some people are on the web, so I'm going to try and navigate things as best I can with the hand showing options. We are deliberately keeping this short because we want to make sure we actually know how to do things. We're going to limit to an hour, so we should be done before 11. And I apologize now because it keeps on going over back and forth between my emails and my texts and my Zooms. So technology is not my friend, clearly. I'm going to encourage the board's members to use their hand options, their hand raising options. For board members calling in, I will have my phone with me, so you can go ahead and use that. And you can just text me. We're still using Robert's Rules of Order, just like we have been using. And then our protocol for workshops is always to permit residents to comment during each topic. Our meetings is obviously public comment at the beginning. This is something new. So if you could email the board or management with questions, we'll answer them as quickly as possible following the meeting. If I can see a way of actually acknowledging a resident on here, I will do my best to do that. Feel free, again, our emails. Hand raising option is still needed. Patrick, if you can help out with the hand raising option, that would be awesome. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And emails. My email is vanessa.winter.croa@gmail. And then the other 6 board members made it much easier. It's David for celebration, Brian for celebration, Kevin for celebration, Diana, Debbie, Marianne for celebration @gmail.com. So it's a very easy one. And of course, you can always go onto our website. Kevin, I'm going to need, or excuse me, Patrick, I'm going to need your assistance because for some reason my whole tab just went away and all I can see is a bunch of screens. So I see your hand raised. I'm going to unmute you, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that anybody that is not, doesn't see the hand raising, that you've gone down to the bottom of your screen and you've clicked on the participant box. And then once the participant box shows up, you'll see where you have the option of raising your hand. So hopefully that's addressing that. But the other thing I wanted to just mention is I forgot to send out with the post that residents could email in questions. So we will fix that and modify that for next Friday's meeting. And we'll make sure on the post we say residents that want to submit questions in advance. Should they send them to your email address or my email address?
Mine's probably easier, and then I can disseminate it to everybody.
Okay, so JR, if you could take note of that for the next Friday's posting, we just need to make sure that we tell residents to send email questions or any statements that they want read in advance.
Okay, and just so you know, on my end, I have, all I have is a video screen on the or a video on the side. I have nothing else. Everything else is clear. So sorry about that. I can see faces and all that, and I can see hands. So I'm limited with whatever I can see on my screen. So on that, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Just a minute here. I'm going to have to unmute everybody. Patrick, can you unmute everybody, please?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Yep.
Done.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, everybody's unmuted during all of this part. I'm going to have everybody unmuted, and then Patrick, once we start into the discussion part for management update, why don't you mute them for us?
Sure.
Okay, so Debbie, I think I heard motion to adopt the agenda. Is that correct, Debbie?
Correct.
Do I have a second? David's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Then action item needed to be approved. Motion to ratify the approval of a MOE testing on unit in North Village as recommended by our attorney Angus and Terry. Do I have a motion?
Yes, David, so moved.
David motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mary Ann. Discussion?
The documentation seemed clear. This is David speaking. Documentation seemed clear and necessary.
Okay, thank you very much, David. Any other conversation or comments?
Can you
All in
repeat what
favor?
David said?
He just said the documentation and the reasoning behind it seemed very clear as per directed by our attorney for this situation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's ratified. Discussion items. Steve, this is all yours, and Patrick, I'm going to have you mute everybody again while Steve's talking, and then again use the raised hand, or Debbie, because you're calling in, you can just send me a text and I'll unmute you.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Patrick, can you hear me?
You're good. You're good.
Okay, so you guys can hear me now? Okay.
Yeah,
Good
you were
morning, everybody.
muted when everybody else was.
Okay, but let me first start by saying on Thursday, the Osceola County Commission ordered an executive stay-at-home order for all of Osceola County, and then Orange County also has an executive stay-at-home order. So that began last night at 11 p.m., and that is going to run through April 9th at 11 p.m. So with that happening, most of our staff either live in Osceola or Orange County, and our offices in our community is in Osceola County. So we enacted our work from home plan. And I'm just going to kind of quickly go through that for you. But first, I want to just thank all my staff. I want to thank my department heads. This is unprecedented times. I know everybody has families, and everybody's really working hard to manage that balance between their home life and keeping the resources and the services up and running as much as we can for the community and celebration. So I want to thank them for that. But I'll start with probably the most important. So if residents want to call in or they want to email us, all that operation will function very similar to how it's always operated. Emails will go directly to us. We have direct access to them, and I've asked all staff as they're going through their work from home to reply back to all emails within 24 hours. If a resident calls into our main number, 407-566-1200, they'll get instead of a person answering the phone, they'll get an automated voicemail, and it'll direct them to punch in the mailbox number for the person that they want to talk to. They will have to leave a message at that point in time, but the messages all come directly to our emails. So I've also instructed my staff to return all phone calls within 24 hours of receiving them. So we'll get them on our voicemails, and we'll return those phone calls within 24 hours. From a Parks and Recreation standpoint, park monitors will still be working in the evenings between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, 7 nights per week. So we will see park monitors as a security essential service throughout the community. They will be in the parked vehicles, the CROA vehicles. They will maintain the 6-foot social distancing that's required. They'll pick up garbage if they see it, but they'll also monitor the parks, and if they see people using facilities, they'll inform them that the facilities are closed. Facilities are still closed through the end of April as directed by the CDC for an 8-week closure timeframe, and that the board approved at their last meeting. So we are still enforcing that to a certain extent, to where we're telling folks if we see them that the facilities are closed. If somebody does not get off, that's pretty much our extent, is to inform them that they need to be off of those facilities. From a maintenance operations standpoint, I'm going to ask Mike if we could unmute him just to give a quick update on the cleaning of the facilities and the closure of those facilities. Mike,
hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Quick rundown of what we've done to this point. All the facilities have been closed, but while we did that, we did do a full deep clean and disinfected each facility. That includes pool decks, outdoor furniture have been stacked. Now that they are secured and closed, we still are going by on a every other day or so to go check on and make sure that we get the toilets flushed and run the water so nothing freezes up or seizes up on us. What my guys are doing now, I think we have one more pool deck to finish, which is, I believe, Spring Lake, on the pressure washing side of it. Once that is completed, we have other projects throughout town that we're going to be able to address that, have been tough to do in the past with everything else that we were doing on a regular operating schedule. But for the most part, everything is locked down, sanitized, and we are going through on a daily basis to the facilities on any door handles that are available for patrons to try to get into the bathrooms. We are wiping those down as well. Even though they can't get in, there's going to be a lot of contact with people trying to get into them. So we added that to the list of daily procedures for disinfection. That's basically it on the facilities. I mean, they're secured and ready to go. And when we open them up, it's going to be a very quick process. Since they're already cleaned and ready to go, just be a quick unlock and get the pool furniture back out and in place.
And so as Mike mentioned, maintenance employees are considered essential at this point in time also. They're going to continue to practice the 6-foot distancing, but they will still be out throughout the community also doing some projects that Mike has for them. And then Mike will continue to oversee all the landscaping and pool cleaning as an essential service as we move through these next 2 weeks. Is there anything we're missing, Mike?
I think that hit it.
Okay. Nikki had her hand up, so I think she wants to add something to Parks and Rec.
I got her open. Nikki, go ahead.
Yes, good morning. Just wanted to add something with Parks and Rec, Steve. We have a morning monitor as well between the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So we'll have a park monitor in the morning as well as the evenings, Monday through Friday.
Great. Thank you, Nikki. And then the rest of the team, the service areas, Tim Prescott will still be in and out of the office. He'll be doing some work from home. Some will be in the community. He still has the Parkview painting project. So again, as a construction maintenance essential service, he'll still be coming in to check on that. And then from community standards standpoint, Susanna has brought a bunch of stuff home with her and distributed stuff to her team. So she'll be working on a lot of things from home with her team. That all of these things that the staff will be working on from home have been given to the board of directors in our work from home plan. So if you guys have any specific questions about that at the end when I'm done, I'll certainly take those from you. And then the communications and lifestyle department, same thing, JR will be working on magazine and different things, but we fully expect, unless something changes, that we'll be reopening on Friday, April 10th. Which means he's going to have something special planned, I believe, for April 11th, that Saturday, to try and make up for not being able to do the Easter egg hunt. So I'm sure JR will be updating more as he has the fine details, unless he wants to add anything now. Okay, I'm going to continue on. Then the last thing I have.
Well, he probably couldn't. Yeah, Brian has a hand up here, so I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I have one more thing, and then I'll
go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing, and then I'll definitely take questions. The last thing, I received an email late afternoon yesterday. The Bohemian Hotel is going to be closed from the end of this week, the 29th through May 1st. And he did ask that I did not post that on our website at this point in time, but I just wanted to inform the board that that was the case at this time. So that's the end of my update, and I can take any questions that you have.
Go ahead, Brian. I just unmuted you.
Okay. What I heard you say is, JR, I think it was JR, you said was going to try something fun for April 10th or 11th, but I mean, we're still going to be on lockdown to the 30th and everything like that. So I guess I want to ask, what did you mean to say, we are, I want to make sure people are biting at the chomp already with, my gosh, when can we get out and live our life? I'd hate to have people saying April 10th, life is normal.
No, so all facilities will still be closed through the end of the month, as I addressed in the earlier part of my update. This will be something that we'll have to do with social distancing, but we're trying to make the best out of what we can. Probably more of a drive-through where people can get a package of Easter supplies or Easter goodies. And JR has his hand up, so I'll let him finish it.
Yeah, I just unmuted JR, so he's good. JR? JR?
Yep, can you hear me?
Your own.
There we go. Got you now.
Okay.
Go ahead, JR. And then after JR, Debbie's got a couple questions too.
Yeah, Steve touched on it there. As long as we can get back in, my staff and I, we're going to go in and we have about 1,000 Easter bags that we're going to fill with eggs, and we're going to do a drive-through at Town Hall. We're going to wait to announce anything, obviously, to see how things play out for the next week or so, week and a half. But no one will have to get out of their car or anything like that, but we can still distribute Easter eggs to the community. Basically, they'll drive in, show an ID, move up, get a bag, and then basically drive back out. I mean, we'll have, the Easter bunny there waving to the kids and whatnot, but trying to do, some sense of normalcy to them.
Debbie, go ahead.
I just want to add to this is as long as the stay-at-home order is lifted when the time frame that we're expecting it to be lifted. If there continues to be a stay-at-home order, then we'll probably have to cancel that too.
Debbie, you're unmuted. You can go ahead and ask your questions. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. Yeah, just a couple of things. Vanessa, thanks for providing the emails in the beginning. Can we just put a link on any of the board notices, or also maybe on the Friday flash that include all the emails to say this is your CROA board link? Because I just am still getting a lot of questions from people about that. Also, I'm in touch with the County Commissioner daily. If anyone has any concerns for our area of the county or any positive suggestions, just shoot me an email with or without the group, whatever is best. And Steve, how can we get the mailbox number for us, or can you send it to us if we were to call in, if we need to contact or leave a message for a park monitor, or do we do that through a certain staff member? Because I'm getting some things from certain areas that have concerns about the playgrounds and didn't know if they could just maybe do a sweep by that area.
Yeah, it was kind of a cumbersome process if they're calling in to address a park issue specifically, because it has to go through the voicemail system, and then we'd have to see the email and call back. So Nikki, can you unmute Nikki? I believe that we've had park monitor numbers. Okay, Nikki, can you talk about how park monitors are contacted if there's things that need to be addressed?
So for the not emergency number, I believe it's Mike that gets the non-emergency calls right now. If there's any emergency, we're usually notified after they get the call. If not, we haven't really posted the park monitor number anywhere because anyone would honestly just call them from random things. So it's honestly just them checking in periodically at all the facilities as much as possible.
So what I'm hearing then is that if it's a non-emergency and people want to call the non-emergency, obviously if it's an emergency, if it's something that's against the law, they should be calling the sheriff's office. But if it's a non-emergency, that will go through our non-emergency line, and we'll get back to them as soon as we can.
Correct.
Okay. Debbie, any other questions?
Yeah, I just meant if we got a bunch of contacts as a board member and there was a certain area, how do we let Nikki know to let the park monitors know to do a sweep through that? Not for
It's
the
probably
general.
best to send her an email. That's
Okay.
probably the best way to communicate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did that answer your questions, Debbie?
Yep. And you guys
Okay,
can include the board link?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys can,
that
if
was
you're
so-
sending emails, if you're sending emails to Nikki or any of the staff, though, please copy me on those emails.
Yeah.
Okay, and on the board link, you can do that?
You'd have to repeat that question. The board link, what are you looking for?
When we send out a notice for meetings or on somewhere in the Friday Flash as well, can we include a link for all the board members just so people know this is your CROA board link to send emails? Because I'm still getting questions. People don't have everybody's emails.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just write down a note, and I know JL's on the call. We'll make sure that those are on Friday Flashes. And then they need to go on the website for the notice also.
Okay.
Right, I
Kevin,
think that's there, but not. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Kevin, I saw your hand was up and then it's down. I'm going to unmute you. Did you have, I was just letting Debbie finish. Did you have some?
No worries,
something
no
you're
worries.
unmuted? Okay.
Yeah, real quick, I absolutely love JR's idea. I love the plan of as long as things are looking better and more positive, it's a way to get people out of the house, as long as both our staff and the residents are safe. So I just encourage that we do use, gloves and we keep the sanitizer and we monitor 6 feet and just all those fun little details that we're all learning to live with now. I absolutely love the idea. I know that the eggs are probably already here. It's a way to get everybody out of the house, but as long as it's done safely, fantastic.
I'm with you on that one, Kevin. Thank you. Any other comments from board members? I'm going to mute you again, Kevin. Sorry. Any other questions from anybody else?
David raising? Has his hand up.
David, sorry.
David.
I see you there. There you go, David. Go ahead. You're unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, and others for your update. That's very helpful. One question and one trigger. So first, the trigger. Steve, you mentioned that park monitors would be picking up garbage as they see it. That just triggered a caution. So I'm hoping that they...
We have pickup sticks. Yeah, we have garbage pickup sticks. Yeah.
This sounded too risky, but all the precautions that Kevin was just citing. The other
Correct.
Thing,
yeah.
Thank you. And the other piece, when Mike talked about when we start back up and putting things back in place, my question there is, will we need to re-sanitize at that point? And that's, I don't know that you don't have to answer that on the spot, but I know that everything has been thoroughly done now, but a month from now, will we need to re-sanitize just to ensure extra caution, extra safety? So that's a question. And maybe you can research,
and I think
maybe you can research that.
Well,
yeah.
I do have some research that we've done up to this point. I think standard operating procedure is if we identify any cases within Celebration, and we know that they've been in any of our facilities, it's going to be required that we do deep cleaning of those facilities before they are open for use again. But we will look into whether or not we need to do a blanket sanitation again before we reopen.
And so part of this has to do with the droplets and the air transmission, and then the other has, and that can be visitors too, and the other has to do with facilities being used even though they're closed. We have already witnessed people jumping fences, and then there's benches on open fields, and so I'm just thinking extra caution once the decision is made to reopen.
Okay. And then I guess, Vanessa, I'll open it up if any of the department heads want to add anything to the report. They can certainly raise their hand and add anything that they'd like. Or Susan.
Brian, I unmuted you. You're good. You had your hand up. Did you still want to comment on something?
Well, no, Steve said if there's any known cases in Celebration, there are known cases, so you should plan accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Brian, do you have any comments? Or are you set now? I'm just
I'm
going to
good.
unmute you. Okay.
I just
Thank
want
you.
to say there are known cases. There will be more known cases we have to plan that we're going to be cleaning for a long time. That's my only comment.
Thank you. Okay. On that, I'll go ahead. Anybody else have their hands raised? Oh, Laura, I see your hand there. I'm going to unmute you, Laura. There you go. You're unmuted.
Hi, I just wanted to let everyone know that there are email addresses that are general that people can email, and it might be quicker than voicemails, just so that it's out there. So town.hall@Celebration Town Hall is a general email address that people can contact for to get their questions or issues or anything else answered quickly. The other thing is, if people have questions, they can always, email Steve or whatever. But as far as the business office, I will be checking emails constantly, so they can always email business office at Celebration Town Hall as well.
Can we make sure that that's included on our notices and stuff like that too? I think that's a good idea. Okay. Any other? I'm going to go ahead and mute you again, Laura. Any other comments from anybody else? I don't see any more hands. Oh, I see another hand.
Looks like
okay.
Brian.
Yep. Gotcha, Brian. Go ahead.
My only comment is we've had a few things here where we've talked about emails. I think when we do the Friday flash and that, it would probably just be good to start it right up front with this is in this period when we're locked down. Here are some of the email addresses you can have and make it a link, and people will see it there because everybody's reading everything. So that's the way to go.
Okay. Debbie has a comment on this. Thank you. And then was that a thumbs up, David, or a question? Okay, got it. All right. A second here. I'm gonna mute Brian and unmute. Okay, Debbie, you're all set.
Okay, I just had a question. I had sent an email from a company in our community. They're residents that have an environmental cleaning company that's certified to clean for COVID. They had offered to do some of our areas for free. I did not receive any response. Steve, can you just comment on that?
Yes, I did receive it. I just had a chance to get back to it this morning. I'll send it to Mike, and I'll ask him to get in touch with her and see if we're about scheduling it prior to reopening, and then have him look and see what options are available.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So Debbie, any other comments? I'm going to go ahead and mute you. You good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And Brian, you are unmuted.
Error, sorry.
That's okay. Did you have a comment? Your hand is
No,
up.
sorry.
Did you have? Okay, good. All right. So I will lower your hand and mute you. Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions? Any other department heads? We good? Okay. So on that note, we have our executive session on Monday at 10 o'clock. That one is for our litigation, our ongoing litigation update. Following that, we will then have our meeting with Tom Slayton to discuss everything we have going on in Celebration, other than just our specific one for the roofing. Is that accurate, Steve? So 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and then another one at 11, correct?
Could call on Susan first, please? She's got her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. It's not unmuting. Why is it not unmuting?
Hey, hold on, Susan. You're not ready yet.
You're not unmuted. Ah, there we go. Oh,
I unmuted
there we go.
myself.
Okay, you're unmuted now.
Okay. Angus and Terry's conference call is a video conference call, and Lauren will be on 15 minutes ahead of time so that we can make sure that we're all connected and everything's working. So if you can log in closer to 9:45, she will work with us to make sure that everyone is on. And then Tom Slayton's conference call at 11 o'clock is a phone conference. So it'll be just like we've done a million times before. And all the contact information is in the invitation.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Susan. Any questions? Just a minute. Debbie had one question, so I'll go back to her in a second. Is there anything else with regards to the conference call and stuff on Monday? Okay, I'm trying to unmute you, Debbie, just a second here.
No, I think, yeah, Susan did a really good job of updating that, so that's good.
I agree. Okay. Debbie, you're on. You're on.
Thanks, Vanessa. Susan, I'm going to need Patrick. Patrick can stay on afterwards to help me connect on the video for the Zoom. Also, just a question I forgot, I didn't hear back from, and my email may have not reached the right person, but on our board assignments for hiring executive director, that was stated in the board meeting, it would be all, but for some reason it just had Vanessa on there. So if we could just correct that on the document, Susan. Again, that was on board assignments where we had the leads. And did y'all hear?
Yeah, she's nodding her head. She's muted. Sorry. Yeah, she's good. She's got it.
Good job there, Vanessa. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So that was it. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions? Are we good? Okay. So that's with regarding our executive session and attorneys for Monday. Our next workshop really isn't a workshop. It says workshop meeting date, but it's actually our board update on Fridays, so that we don't get so we're not confused with what we're doing. If anybody has any questions, comments, this was kind of a good dry run to see how this is going to work. Rule number one, make sure that your internet doesn't go down just before the conference goes live. That was what happened to me. And now I have one little itty bitty teeny weeny screen in the corner in my computer. So I got your feeling on the computer issues, Debbie. On that note, I'm going to have to Patrick, I need you to unmute everybody because we need to have a motion to adjourn. And I cannot unmute everybody now.
Done.
Thank you. Somebody's still muted. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, so I think I heard Debbie first, and then I heard Mary Ann second. Does that sound good?
Good.
All right.
Hey, Vanessa, before you vote though, it might be easier if you guys that want Patrick to help you, if you give him your phone numbers and then he can call you back and then maybe set up another test or whatever, however works best for Patrick. But it may make more sense for him to call you directly to work with your problems.
You want him to go ahead and you want to just send him, you know what, just send him a quick email because he can set up another Zoom conference call really easy. So send him an email and then he can help you walk through that. Is that reasonable, Patrick?
Yes, that is.
Okay, perfect. So just pop him a quick email saying, hey, I need some help with this, and he'll get it all up and running. If anybody has anything else before we head out, are we good with the adjournment? Excellent. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys stay safe.
You
Wash
too.
your hands.
Yes.
Yeah, lots.
Stay healthy.
You too. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.